Hey there guys, welcome to another episode of China How It Is. Now, I've been meaning to do a video about this for a very long time and I've no idea why I never did. So let's get it out of the way. I'm going to be talking about the most commonly used cell phone applications that people use in China for communication and for social networking and whatnot. So this is very important if you come to live in China. People, obviously you can't use Facebook or YouTube or Twitter. These are all blocked. So, you know, your phone's useless. And also a lot of the Google applications are useless too. Google Plus, for instance, barely works, it times out, sometimes works, sometimes not. And of course, most of the Google applications also don't work very well here. If they do work, it's intermittent. So I'm going to talk about and I'm going to actually show you some of the alternatives, which are obviously homegrown over here in China and actually work very well. You'll be surprised. Some of these are fantastic, and I think if you haven't heard of them by now, you probably will soon. Now, this is not only going to be about cell phone applications. This will also be about you know, programs people use on their computers, etc. So anyway, get ready to find out how to get in touch with people in China. Right guys, so let's talk a little bit about the social networking, what I know about it anyway. I'll try and take you through a bit of a history, at least from my own perspective. And sorry, it's quite late at night here. I'm standing underneath a street lamp over here. Okay. I'm actually right near to Xiangmihu, you know, that very cool place to go for barbecue and stuff in Shenzhen. I'm actually coming to pick up a friend. Anyway, this is the story, at least. When I first came to China in 2006, I noticed everybody using a chat client which I was unfamiliar with because, you know, being from the West, I used to use, you know, MSN at the time was what we were all using. But I noticed that everyone had a very strange internet client, chat client on their computers, which had sort of a anime-style character as an avatar. They didn't use their own pictures. It had like a little avatar. And made a very annoying sound every time there was a notification, like a beep beep sound, a dee 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 kind of a sound. Very irritating. Anyway, turns out this was the QQ client. Now, let me tell you a little bit about QQ. I actually worked at the company that made QQ for about 5 years. I trained various different departments there. You know, basically just, well, depending on the department, but it was more just language training, etc. Anyway, so I'm fairly familiar with the whole, you know, Tencent and QQ, etc. So I'll tell you a bit of a history behind it. Now, I'd be lying if I knew the year that this guy did it, but the sort of big boss of QQ, he graduated from Shenzhen University, so it's a Shenzhen local company, and he came up with this great idea to take ICQ. I'm not sure if any of you guys out there can remember ICQ, but it was sort of the biggest chat client, one of the first big chat clients, you know, before MSN and all that. So he took ICQ and he copied it and he made it Chinese and he called it OICQ, or Oriental ICQ. And that is what developed into QQ. And QQ, it became wildly popular. Now, it's difficult to explain just how popular it is. You can go to any small little stall or shop anywhere and you'll see that on their rubbish computer in the corner they will have QQ running. And it became like the only way to keep in contact with everyone around here. So QQ is basically just a Chinese version of MSN or, you know, whatever, ICQ and all those kind of chat clients that we all use today. But they started to incorporate lots and lots of extra features that we just didn't get in the West. Things like games, you know, that you can play with your contacts. You could play online, like card games and stuff. It's wildly, at least was wildly popular. They also started to include all sorts of things like virtual pets, QQ virtual pets, which you could download for your desktop. It's all tied into the whole thing. And then things like the QQ zone and all this nonsense, which is kind of like having some sort of a blog where you can upload your pictures and albums and all this. So, you know, these all started to take place of the Western sort of Facebooks and things like WordPress is also blocked in China. So is Blogger or whatever, the normal Google blog thing that people use is blocked here as well. So people started to use all these extra features of QQ, and it came with this whole suite, and that became wildly popular. So everybody around China basically had a QQ number. And QQ, well, Tencent was very smart, and they focused on the mobile, developing the sort of mobile side of things. So the mobile QQ that you could then go and install on your mobile phone, of course, also was fully featured and had access to everything. Because especially in rural China, a lot of people don't have access to a computer, but they will have access to a mobile phone. And of course, everybody these days, doesn't matter who they are around here, has a phone. Once again, in China probably has the largest user base of phones anywhere, just because of the population. So they were very smart, and they developed all the sort of mobile. They developed the mobile side, and probably way more advanced than anything we had in the West anyway, as far as functionality is concerned. Okay, so let's fast forward a little bit to today. Right now, QQ is still very popular, but it's not as popular as it used to be. I'd say the majority of people these days are using something called Weixin. At least that's what it was originally called. You may have heard of it, and you may even be using it now. It's called WeChat. It's also made by Tencent, the same people that use QQ. Okay, now that is something that I personally use all the time. All of my friends use. And I was a very early adopter, of course, because I was working for Tencent at the time. So, in fact, one of the guys who was on the development team for WeChat, he actually introduced it to me and got me onto it very early. Here's a picture of my joining date. So, as you can see, a couple of months into it, I was already basically on WeChat. And I've been using it non-stop, and it's taken place of basically, I don't send SMSs or texts anymore. I don't make phone calls anymore. I just use WeChat for my voice, communication with my friends, and of course to send messages, to send pictures, to send files, to send just about everything. Just use WeChat because it's so useful. And the data usage is very low, it's very well optimized, and it works incredibly well. So that is why I currently use WeChat. And of course, I introduced it to all my friends, or the foreigners that I know here. They all started using it, so everyone uses it. I'll show you how it works a little later, but basically WhatsApp came before it, of course, and they obviously saw WhatsApp and thought, hey, this is a great idea, and they took it and they improved on it. And basically there are so many more features. Now I'll show you all the features, but I'll just quickly tell you what people normally use it for. They use it for, like me, for communication, obviously. But then you get people who go ahead and use it to find dates, because you've got this location find. You can find people around you, and you can specify if you're looking for men or women, and you can just find people in your area. You can add them, chat to them, and set up dates. That's what a lot of the people I know use it for. Actually, a lot of the foreigners I know, that's what they're just all the time looking through that, trying to find people to meet. So people use it for that as well. Of course, for business, it's really useful, and it's got like a microblogging thing inside of it. You get your little thing called Moments where you can post pictures, and I'll show you. It's kind of boring. People usually just posting pictures of their bloody food all the time, but it can be kind of interesting and useful. So you have a little page. Okay, so that's a biggie, and that is the one that most people are using, and that is the one I suggest you install. It's obviously it's free. It's just had its 3rd anniversary, so it's been around for 3 years now. But if you want to communicate with anyone in China, this is the best way. And of course, if you've got a Wi-Fi connection somewhere, it's all free. All your data is free, so you can, send messages and pictures and files and whatever, all for free. So it's incredibly useful, and it's like seriously feature-packed. So that one I suggest you install and use. It's great. One that I have failed to mention is something called Weibo, or the Sino Weibo, or Sino Weibo is also a very popular microblogging sort of thing. I'd say it's something like Twitter, and it is the one that a lot of people use here in China. But the difference is the Weibo. I have a Weibo. Here's my Weibo link for you guys out there, anyone in China. 'Cause it's all in Chinese, so for foreigners it's not really friendly. But basically, this is kind of like a Twitter / Facebooky kind of a thing, but it's more like Twitter. You've got a little account, and you can post photos and little stories, and you get updates, and you can go look. So it's very similar to Twitter, but this is more for public, I'd say. So if you wanted to have a public sort of little channel and introduce things to people, you'd use Weibo, and you would use WeChat or Weixin for your own personal contacts, etc. So it's incredibly useful. And let's not forget the actual QQ client, which you get as well for your phone, is still incredibly useful. You can also send voice messages, images, etc. And it ties into all the other QQ zone and all that other nonsense. But from my own personal experience, from what I've seen around me, the QQ usage is declining, and the WeChat usage is actually increasing. Anyway, I'm pretty sure if you haven't heard about it now, well, now you have. It's probably going to start making a splash in your part of the world, wherever you are, because WeChat is seriously useful, seriously good, and like I said, the functionality is just incredible, and it's on the rise. And to be honest, I pretty much use my phone only for WeChat these days. Alright, so enough talking about what this stuff is all about. How about we sit down and actually take a look at how these things work. Let me show you how it works and kind of what you need to set it up. Alright, so gonna jump cut, and gonna find a nice place to sit down, or probably do it tomorrow or something, and I'll show you exactly how it all works. Alright guys, till then. Alright guys, so basically, let me just let this thing focus if it can. Come on, autofocus, you piece of rubbish. Not that difficult. There we are. Now it's nighttime, I'm in my car, and I suppose it's a fairly good place to record for now. I'm just going to show you some of the features of WeChat. Now there's the icon. I'm going to fire it up, okay? Right, don't worry about my chats. Let's move that on. And go to the Discover. Okay, I'll show you how the chat thing works shortly. Okay, now as you can see, it's got this thing called Moments at the top, and there's a notification, there's something new. So I click on Moments, and it brings up sort of my page. You can see that's my little page over there, and my name, and then it'll have, I'm doing this on my bloody left, I'm right-handed, hang on, I'll change this around. Okay, so here you can actually see people posting just absolute nonsense, the usual kind of microblog rubbish that you'd expect. Usually, like I said, people playing mahjong, people's dinner, little articles, and it just keeps going on and going on. And yeah, just absolute the kids, and whatever else. You get the idea. This is a little microblogging thing. Now if I want to do a microblog here, I'll just, in fact, you can either choose a picture, or you can take a picture. There's all sorts of things you can do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose a picture, choose photo. Don't let you guys see my gallery, it might be something weird. No, just kidding, obviously. Okay, let me go just choose a picture here. Okay. Let's see, I'm just going to choose a picture of Sea Milk riding the bobber. Okay, alright, and I'm just going to say done. Right, and I'm just going to say Sea Milk. Gotta get the hyphen in there. Alright. Sea Milk rides the Chamberlain. Okay, send. Alright. Okay, so there, now I've made a little, microblog. People can now go and take a look at the picture and focus, you piece of crap. Come on, it's not that difficult. There we are. Okay, and people can now go and see that horrible pose of Sea Milks. Alright, so as you can see, it's just basically a little microblogging thing. You can click on your own picture here, it'll go to your page, and you can just basically see the things that I've been posting. Keeps it a list. So it's kind of useful. That's built into WeChat. So It's useful when your friends post interesting things and not bloody pictures of their food all the time, which is something that's very normal here in China. Just food. Anyway, okay, so that's the whole discover thing. Now, you have a QR code, so you can say scan QR code, and it uses the camera to scan someone else's QR code. Through there, you can also go over here. You choose my QR code. I'm not going to do that now, otherwise you guys will add me, and I've got 10 billion people. I will give you my my Weibo and all that online, but this is more just for like more clients and sort of friends here in Shenzhen. And I do add any of my subscribers that come here, I always add them on this. Okay, anyway, this is the thing. This is quite useful, the shake thing. You can shake your phone and it will now search for anyone else who's shaking their phone in the near vicinity. It uses your GPS. So there's someone there, Shao or something or other, within 500 meters. It's a guy. I can click on there, and then you can send a greeting or whatever. You see his album and stuff, whatever. I'm not interested in this dude. Let's get out of here. Okay, but now here's the thing that many people use to basically search for dates. So you go, people nearby, searches, and you can obviously tell if it's a man or a woman by that little icon next to it, and it tells you all the different people nearby. It says within 100 meters, within 200 meters. It gives you a distance. So the interesting thing is, like, you can find people that live near to your house. I think here you can also select, yeah, females only, males only. I mean, it's pretty obvious what this was designed for, let's be honest. So females only. And, well, let's see, we've got a whole bunch of people here. I'm just going to choose a random one. Oh, there's a Korean nearby. See a Korean name? Oh, that's interesting. Let's just choose some random person. I don't care. V. Okay, V within 2 kilometers. And then, what the hell kind of a status is that? Keep yourself calm and others eat shit? Wow, okay, that's really nice. Let's choose someone else. What kind of a weird random ass nonsense is that? Okay. Let's choose that Korean one. What's up? Okay, so now you could obviously send her. I'm not going to do it. I mean, I'm not out prowling the streets, but you can send greetings, and then they can either add you or ignore you, you know. So that's pretty cool, you know, for finding people nearby. I've had some requests from people, I guess, lonely people, or basically just people wanting to learn English or whatever. They see I'm a foreigner, so they add me. But yeah, that's the people nearby thing. Now I want to show you something else which is quite cool. It's called the drift bottle over here. Okay, so you hit drift bottle, and what you do is you say pick. Okay, and it will just find a random, let's see, a random person's drift bottle. Oh, you gotta click on it. Okay, so someone just left a random message saying I don't really know what the hell that is. I'm throwing that shit back. Okay, go get back in there. Let's find another one. Let's pick up another one. I don't want a bloody starfish. Give me another one. Okay, what's this? Okay, Shinli something, whatever. Okay. Now the thing is, you can get some interesting random notes, but I mean, I'm not going to reply to that crap, so throw that back. And you can reply to them, and this is another way to just meet people. So you can throw a bottle in there, okay? And you can say, let me say something. I am making a YouTube video about WeChat and Chinese social media. If anyone ever gets this, go check me out on YouTube. YouTube.com/SerpentZA. Okay, well, there we go. Off it goes into the blue yonder, so to speak. And who knows if anyone's ever going to get that message, but if they reply to it, you will actually get the reply, which is quite cool. You've got my bottles over here. No bottles yet. Okay. So, yeah, that's kind of an interesting little feature I thought was quite fun. And, what else? You've got games. Well, they've only got one at the moment. It's Pencil Pilot, piece of rubbish. I don't play this. Some of my friends do. Yeah, you can see the people. You say start. Whatever, just bugger off. Quit. And then what'll happen is it'll compare your score with your other friends, and that kind of nonsense. Anyway, you get the idea. Of course, you've got a thing called a sticker shop where you can get these emoticons, which you can use then. Basically, you get free ones and ones that you pay for. And yeah, then you can just add them to your chats and all that nonsense. So it's basically just, the usual kind of stuff. Alright, I'll get onto the actual chat thing now. Let me send a message to someone. Okay, I prefer you guys don't see my chat history at the current moment, so give me a second, if you don't mind. Okay, I'm just going to open... I'm just replying to a message. Give me a second here, guys. Bear with me, I'll probably just cut this out because it's taking too long. Okay. Now, let me open I'm going to send a message to C-Milk. So, I'm going to go to my contacts and let me find C-Milk. Where is he? He's gone and used a strange name. There we go. C-Milk. Let's message him. Okay. Yo, C-Milk, I'm making a video for YouTube about WeChat. Can you just reply? And keep it PG if you don't mind. Okay? See, it's very quick and easy. Just send it off. Let's see if he probably won't keep it PG. Come on, give me a reply, damn it. Right, so last night C-Milk didn't reply to me because he's obviously stuck at the bottom of a cheap bottle of Baijiu. Anyway, thing is, he did reply the next day, so here was his reply. Let's listen.
Hey guys, it's Lao86 here. WeChat is pretty much the coolest tool that you can use in China, and actually I used it in America when I went back too, so give it a download, it's pretty awesome.
Okay, as you can see, it's fairly good, it's fairly clear. Automatically, if you put the earpiece to your ear, it kind of switches over to the internal earpiece speaker, or it will be speaker mode when you don't. Anyway, so that's the reply. Let's continue on with the other features. So the nice thing is you can mix, obviously, it's just like WhatsApp and all that, sort of, or Skype, or you can mix your voice and text together. It's also got like a walkie-talkie where you can do live talk, but it's finicky and it's rubbish. No one uses that. But, okay, while we're waiting for his reply, if he does reply, I'll show you some other things you can do. You can send a picture here, of course, and you can take a photo or choose a photo. You can send a video. Very useful, you can send your location real time, or like if I say send location, it'll pop up where I am right now. Okay, that's exactly where I am, and I can send it to him. Now this is very useful because I'm still busy checking. It's very useful because if you're like at a restaurant or something and you want your friends to come meet you, then you can basically just send it like this. Okay, sending my location now. Send. Okay, and there it says exactly where I am, which is nice. Now if he clicks on that, it'll bring this up and you can open it in your maps or whatever. So it's incredibly useful. Okay, so you got location, you can send a name card of someone else to them, walkie-talkie, video call, so you can do a video call as well. I have no idea what this Weishi is. This is a new feature, I guess. What is this crap? Not interested. I think it's got something to do with dating or something. I'll take a look at that later. He's obviously at the bottom of a bottle right now, so let's just move on. Okay. As you can see, it keeps the chat history of everyone you've spoken to, and really, really useful is it's got group chats. Let's just make sure there's nothing weird in this. Okay, in the group chat, you can send to all your friends. You can create your own groups, like in this one. I got it's got to do with my Churchill customs, so I've got all the guys involved. So you can send a message, it goes to all of them, which is really cool. And basically, it's incredibly useful to keep track of your friends and to, you have little groups like of all your drinking buddies, groups of, your business-related stuff. Incredibly useful. All right, so let's get out of there. And what else? Okay, that's pretty much it as far as WeChat is concerned, but I'm pretty sure you can see how useful it is. yeah. Anyway, we'll move on to something else soon. All right, guys. Let's take a quick look at how the whole Weibo thing works. There we go. I'm doing the whole left-handed thing again. Give me a second. Swap hands here. Okay, Weibo, as you can see, is very straightforward to use here. You've got your friends. It'll tell you who's following you or who you can follow. Sorry. Get out of there. And you have your Weibo, which are your posts basically. So you can go through your posts here, and of course create new posts. And there's also a bunch of other things. You can pay for things and buy stuff, and you know, my QR, that is my QR. I don't know if you guys can scan that, but you can of course add or follow a Weibo by scanning the QR code like that, and also you can just search for Serpent ZA. You'll find it if you want. I've only recently opened this, so it's not that popular yet, and a lot of the messages. Alright, sorry, before I rudely interrupted myself there. Let's take a look at those messages I was telling you about. It's quite funny actually, because the majority of the messages I've been getting on Weibo have been things like, are you the real Serpent ZA? See, well, he says, 你是别样中国的 whatever the hell, I don't actually know, it's all something. And he's like, welcome and all that. It's like, yes, that's me. You are really? Yes, I am really, and now you're on my video, so you know for sure that I am really. So anyway, that's quite cool. So yes, I just set up this Weibo recently, just basically for the Chinese subscribers, although they're not really subscribers, I suppose, because they watch in China. But anyway, for all of those guys, I thought it would be quite fun, so I've set that up. Okay, now there's another social networking application which I haven't told you about. It's called Momo. Here's the icon. This is what it looks like. You can search for it in the App Store and whatnot. That is specifically only for dating. Me and a couple of friends, we installed it on our phone just to see what it was all about a while ago. You just put a profile, so a couple of pictures and who you are and all that nonsense. And it also uses a location-based thing, very similar to the WeChat kind of thing, but this is specifically only for dating. So you put your profile up there, and then, you know, I remember with us, within like an hour, we all started getting hits of people, like girls interested in meeting us and all this nonsense. So if that is what you're looking for, that's what you can do. I mean, I just did it to see what it was all about, and I deleted it off my phone pretty much straight away. But yeah, Momo is what it's called. If that's what you're interested in, go ahead and install that. Okay, now the last part of this video, I'm going to explain to you why we use all these homegrown applications and don't use Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube and all that kind of thing here. Okay, so let me explain to you why we use all these homegrown things and we don't use Facebook. And in fact, I'll just explain to you why Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube and everything is blocked here. You know, when the internet came to China, I think nobody really expected it to explode as much as it did. It gave the average Chinese person a voice, and small little things started to happen and snowball into big events. You know, for instance, there have been recently a lot of these situations where, for instance, maybe a photograph is taken of a government official wearing an expensive watch, or some kind of doing something that, having something that he shouldn't really be able to afford on his government salary. And then it gets posted on these forums and on these Weibo, sort of blogs and stuff, and then people start calling them out, and thousands and hundreds of thousands and millions of people start commenting on this and start bringing it and spreading it all over and reposting, and it gets to the point where the government can't ignore it anymore. And then they have to start investigating. They start investigating these officials, and they actually get fired and jailed and stuff for corruption. And this kind of thing would never have happened before the internet. Now, unfortunately, this also leads to a lot of situations where people are falsely accused, and there's all sorts of nonsense going on. You see, we have this little situation in China. It's called the Human Flesh Search Engine, or Renro search engine. Now what happens is, if somebody takes a photo of someone doing something bad or perceived bad thing on the street and posts it on, say, a Weibo, and it gets reposted, what will happen is people will try to find out who that person is. Now, because there's such a massive population in China, it's actually fairly easy, and what people will do is they'll start searching through, you'll get people searching through school records, people going out there asking, and because this person gets so famous and gets blown out of proportion, somebody who knows that person will eventually recognize them and then, start posting details. Then the whole internet goes crazy. They start posting that person's personal details, their phone numbers, their address, all this nonsense online. This is if they think this person's done something bad, right? And of course their lives get turned upside down, and they get threats, and they get it really does get out of control. So this is one of the bad sides of this whole situation, and this is also why the government is incredibly afraid of letting people use foreign forms of social networking and social media. The reason is they have no control over it. But if somebody posts something, something that's maybe politically, I don't know what you'd say, I'll just say political because I hate politics. They post political stuff. If they post any kind of thing that's starting to get out of control, or something that's irresponsible to post, the Chinese government can't go to like Google or Twitter and say, hey guys, please take that down. And Google or Twitter will say, no, that's freedom of speech or something, and block them. So that's why they've banned Twitter and they've banned Facebook and all this kind of stuff. Because with the homegrown stuff like Weibo and Weixin and QQ and all this, if someone posts something, the Chinese government can go to Tencent or go to the Weibo company and say, hey, take that down now. And they have to take it down because they have to listen to the government, and they block it and they take it down, and it's done. So this is the reason why all these foreign social networking sites and applications have been blocked. It's basically because the Chinese government would have no control over what the population, the netizen population, which is the largest netizen population in the world, does and says. Alright, so take it or leave it, that's just the way it is. I'm not sitting here trying to defend or say anything's good or bad. I don't do politics, I don't take sides. I'm just telling you how it is and why it is. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this little look into the whole Chinese social media and social networking, and of course please leave comments down there, and I'm sure they'll get answered either by me or other subscribers. I'm looking forward to seeing you all in the next China How It Is. Please don't forget that there's also the whole World How It Is thing. Those guys are still going. Remember, I started that, so please go check out the World How It Is channel, and give a shout out to the guys in England and Germany and America and Hong Kong and all that. Anyway guys, it's been a pleasure. Once again, looking forward to seeing you in the next video. Cheers for now, and stay awesome.